Nene Leakes, you gotta bring the mic up for this. Nene Leakes, cancel, unplug the microphone, delete, cancel the show. We don't want this. You are not a good talk show host. And what you said to TS Madison in this moment was reprehensible. It was offensive. And the fact that you in that moment did not realize that what you said was wrong tells me all I need to know about you. Let's talk about it. Hello, you guys. Welcome back to the Cake Radio Show. I'm the CakeDive, and I hope you guys are doing well because today we're going to be talking about Nene Leakes, the Nene Leakes show, and what she said to TS Madison. So for those who don't know, first of all, who is Nene Leakes? Because I was talking to one of my friends about this situation, and he literally came to me and was like, please don't look at me crazy when I ask this, but I literally was talking to one of my other friends about this situation. Who is Nene Leakes? Nene Leakes is a former, dare I say, washed up talk show host, but she just became that. She's a washed up reality star. When I say washed up, I mean that with kindness because it's true, unfortunately. Nene Leakes was the star and the head peach of The Real Housewives of Atlanta when she was on the show. First season to what was it, season 16, season 17, whatever season she left on. And she was and still kind of is reality royalty. Like a lot of the clips that go viral that are used for reaction videos and reaction memes and stuff like that, even in many of my videos in the past and even the recent past. And I'm like the Talk episode, the pilot for Talk, I used a Nene Leakes reaction video in it. A lot of her moments and stuff like that were pulled and are popular from The Real Housewives when she was on that show. She left the show because one, she wasn't cooperating. She wasn't really being willing to film. Give us like some good juicy storylines. She wasn't really giving what the girls wanted to be gave like she did in the earlier seasons. But two, she also sued Bravo for racism, and that was settled out of court. Bravo and NBC Universal want nothing to do with her now, obviously because that's that lawsuit. And she has struggled to really gain prominence since, but she also has kind of struggled gaining prominence outside of the show when the show wasn't on. Like during the show, she kind of was like staying in, she was staying popular because once she had the show as the main draw, but she also was doing stuff like Glee. She was doing stuff like some other TV shows that she was popping up on. She was doing like Dancing with the Stars. She was in The Celebrity Apprentice back when Trump was not, ruining the highest office in the United States right now. She was doing she was a guest, a recurring guest star co-anchor on the scrapped Kris Jenner talk show that people are discovering exist. She was doing the things during the Real Housewives run, but the moment that she stepped off the Real Housewives was when things started drying up. Some people will allege that Bravo was putting out the hit on her or whatever like that, like they was trying to stop her bag and stuff like that. But that lawsuit and how amicably, there's some ways that you could say that it could stop the bag, of course, but she also has kind of been picky and choosy about how to get back to the bag. And I think that that's also one of her issues. She hasn't really popped up on any other reality shows, at least nothing that has stuck the way that she has wanted it to be. Because the thing is, she wants to be in the level of cultural prominence that she had with the Real Housewives and after the Real Housewives as a result of the Real Housewives. If you're following me, because a lot of her fame is still to this day tied to that show that she is no longer on and can't get back onto because of that lawsuit. And again, the reason behind it is it wasn't a Phaedra versus Kandi thing in which Kandi did have Bravo involved in the lawsuit, but she was suing Phaedra. This was a 1-to-1 Nene Leakes versus NBC Universal lawsuit type of issue. Well, I might be wrong on that. I think Kim was probably involved in that lawsuit as well, but that's, if I'm inaccurate, I'm sorry, I apologize. I'm like trying to get this in the moment. But you have, like, she's been trying to do that. She was on Baddies for some reason. She wanted to be a host for like one of the reunions on Baddies, and I don't watch Baddies because I think that is black CIA nonsense. But that's the scheme that Todd set up to come to us, the community, with the bullshit. But y'all, hey. But the clips that I've seen of her trying to host Baddies has been awful. One, because it seemed like she wasn't really giving us the things. Like, the vibe just wasn't there. She wasn't reading the girls. She wasn't clocking the girls. But she also looked very uncomfortable because of the fact that on that show is like no limits. Like, the girls be fighting and tussling with each other with no reason, with no rhyme or reason, because they don't be eating and they just be drinking. They be hungry and they be wanting to fight. But she tried that, didn't work. And now she has this talk show, quote unquote. You say that you run a talk show, but you know. And listening to the talk show, I've like seen clips. I also hadn't watched an episode. It's just not interesting. I know, like, last week or 2 weeks ago, we were talking about how Jennifer Hudson's show wasn't interesting. Like, you had like the Spirit Tunnel, which was the most interesting draw because you got like people dancing through like Ethan Slater, dance it for me, or like people like to talk about like the funny moments of people reacting through the tunnel like that, or like, you know, discussing the you know, the amount of people who be in the Spirit Tunnel for certain people who be in the Spirit Tunnel. Like, you have someone like Normani, who their Spirit Tunnel is full, or Kiki Palmer, whose Spirit Tunnel is full, and then you have like some other person in which it'd be like 2 people in the Spirit Tunnel, and like it being a joke. So you have that being like the interesting draw, but you also have like people criticizing Jennifer Hudson as like an interviewer and as a talk show host. Like, you had people last week talking about the fact that like she really be sitting in those interview style like moments of the talk show being like, really? How'd you do that? Now you're gonna sing at the wedding? I've been telling you. Like, it be stuff like that. Like, how like she really is not giving the girl, like, she's not interviewing the girls. And some people say that's just because of it's the death of journalism, but I just don't think it's because she was trained to do that, and she just doesn't do that, and her team hasn't pushed her to do that. But I also just feel like that's also the thing that has happened with a lot of the newer talk shows that's sprung up. Like, Drew Barrymore has a similar issue, dare I say. Like, a lot of her like, she's asking questions, but also a lot of her, you know, interview stuff like that is like overwhelming positivity, where she's just like, I haven't watched the Drew Barrymore like that. The only episode that I saw in full was, and it was because it was on in the gym for me. It was the episode of her interviewing Gal Gadot, the super fan of Israel, for the release of Snow White. And she's here like, Drew Barrymore is sitting there like, on behalf of all women, I want to thank you for representing us as Wonder Woman. And I'm sitting here in the gym like, let me ask the girls. Let me ask my audience, the girls. Did Gal Gadot represent y'all? I don't know. All right, let me ask y'all. Let me know in the comments below, because I don't know. But you have moments like that that also are like stuff that is issues just overwhelmingly across a lot of these talk shows, in which it hasn't been anything that has given us the things like, you know, Wendy and, dare I say, Ellen used to give us back in the day. Ellen, unfortunately, like, she left because of the weirdness and the toxicity she was doing to the staff. Wendy left abruptly because of her health and because of the conservatorship. But none of the new talk shows were given it. I hope I can bring it. But no. The Nene League show, on the other hand, is this like YouTube show that she's launched. It seems to be running through her own pockets, her own budget. She has this little set, and the interviews and stuff that she's been doing with the show just haven't been gagging. Like, some of the guests that she brings on there, like, she seems to only be on there for like the shade, which, like, I guess makes sense because, like, she is a shady individual. She was from Real Housewives. Shade is the game. And then you also have, like, these controversial moments in which she is having conversations with, like, someone like a TS Madison. And she is, and I'll put the clip here. So when she's asking her, you know, she's talking to her and she's just like, oh, like, she's like, oh, like, if, like, you date gay men, like, how is that? And TS Madison's like, well, I don't date gay men. And Nene's like, oh, well, if, you know, a man is looking at you and is dating you, like, doesn't that make them gay? And, like, that makes them gay. And T.S. Madison's like, no, like, if you put me and you in the same room and a straight man is looking at both of us, we are on the same team. Like, that makes them a straight man, if not a bi man.
Do you only know gay men?
Well, I don't date gay men.
Well, okay, well, I you know, when you guys be saying that, that's weird.
Why?
Because what do you mean you don't date gay men? Because if he is sleeping with you and sleeping with a woman, he's something.
Well, he's not gay.
What is he?
He's definitely not gay.
He's bi?
Listen, because if a man come in here and he looks at me and you.
Yeah. What is he?
Well, he likes women.
Yeah, because he doesn't know.
And if he does know, he likes women.
Okay.
Now,
so, but what is he?
Well, that would possibly, it's a possibility.
He's bisexual?
He could be bi or he could be pan.
Okay, guys.
You know, a lot of men are
Yeah.
a lot of men are pan, but they don't say anything. Like,
I don't want to run into them. I don't want to date him.
Nene, if you've dated,
I need you to, like,
Nene, if you've
Hello
dated,
Kitty all the time.
If you
And Nene's like, oh, well, no, like, but she basically was like, oh, like, if a man is, like, interested in someone like you, like, they're not straight, which, first of all, is transphobic, and is disgusting that she was suggesting that. Not only just suggesting that, but, like, going so hard as to, like, talk over T.S. Madison and push that point. And, like, doubling down in the same interview. Like, it wasn't one thing in which she, like, said that briefly and they moved on. It was this, like, long clip in which she was just going hard in the paint, doubling down in the fact that, like, oh, if a man is interested in a woman who happens to be trans, she was suggesting she was going hard in the paint to say that man is not straight. But baby, that man is straight, because trans women are women. Simple as that. Like, it should not be as hard to wrap around the idea that trans women are women. Y'all have, like, y'all are both girls. Y'all both have the same access to the same things. Like, y'all both have access to the same gender affirming care. Like, y'all both have access to the same wigs, the same, you know, makeup, the same things. Like, just because the girls are fish doesn't mean that the girls aren't women. Like, it's as simple as that. Like, it should not be that hard for people to wrap around. But for some reason, a lot of straight women have that, like, there's layers to this, because you have a lot of straight women who have that, like, weird transphobia that is, like, hidden under them, where they don't, for some reason, like, I mentioned this with that one Jess Hilarious out of the Breakfast Club. Like, she's going hard in the paint being transphobic, but she ended up having transphobia lobbied at her, because a lot of women, straight women, especially a lot of straight black women, don't realize that transphobia also can bite them in the ass, because of the fact that, like, for cis black women, like, they get hit with transphobia because of colorism, because of racism, because of the fact that, like, historically, white people, the establishment, non-black people, and even some black men have used, like, the false conceptions that, like, black women are inherently masculine, and have used transphobia as a result of that to, like, push this, like, disgusting and gross agenda on them. And they've gotten caught in the crossfires as a result of that colorism, because of that misogynoir. So the fact that you, like, you've experienced that. The fact that you are experiencing that, and that other women like you have experienced that, but you're gonna turn around and look at this trans woman and be like, oh, we're not the same. And if someone's interested in you, that makes them gay. Like it's just really disgusting to me. And as a result, like, I don't know what's gonna happen. Like, I feel like it's a child. Like, she need to cut the show. Either she need to cut the show, or the girls need to stop watching the show. It's one of the two. Because, like, she can apologize for it. I don't think the apology, if she does issue one, will be genuine, because that you could tell in that interview that she really believes that, hands down. But I just don't think the talk show is for her. She need to do something else, baby. Like, let's do something else. Like, let's do something else. You know, maybe launch your own reality show, like Keeping Up with Nene. You know, maybe doing like a new, like how create a new reality show, doing a cooking show or something like that. That's a little bit more different. Like, the talk show format is not gonna work, because the issue is that, like, you use talking too much. And I don't mean that in like a gross disgust, in like in a disrespectful way either. It's just the fact that, like, for some people, especially some reality stars, like, people enjoy them in doses. Like with the Real Housewives effect, when people talk about Nene Leakes and people praise Nene Leakes and they're like, oh, like, we need Nene Leakes back on Real Housewives, which is never going to happen. Drop it, please. People are saying that because they like the clips. They like the viral moments that have gotten popular because of that. Very few people that talk about Nene Leakes positively in the ways that they do online have actually sat and watched her on Real Housewives when the season was going. And if Bravo changed their minds today and was like, you know what, next season of Real Housewives, Nene Leakes coming back, I don't think that that's going to push the numbers up. Like, people are not going to get no Peacock subscription. People not going to resubscribe to cable and tune in on Bravo live at like 9 p.m. at night to tune into the show if she joined in. Like, you might see a little bit of a bump, but not enough to save the show. It's not worth it for them. And it's not worth it for Nene either, because no shade, if she came back to the Real Housewives, then it's going to be like, oh, girl, you was desperate for that cookie. Like, you wanted that cookie back. You knew you needed that cookie, and now you back on the show because you needed that. And I feel like some people just don't realize that, because people aren't thinking. There's a big education problem in our country, and I think that there's a lot of examples of that. But yeah, I wish that she apologizes, not just to like us as the audience, because people are like looking at this and thinking that it's weird. But I hope she apologizes to TS Madison, because, for starters, let me give TS Madison some props. She moved through that moment with a lot of grace, and I know that, like, it was hard, but I also know that, like, she's moved with grace with that moment, because she's had things like that said to her, and worse said to her, throughout her entire life. Like, she has had to go through a lot as a trans woman, and she continues to move with a lot of grace, with a lot of love, with a lot of strength. And it's just truly iconic. Like, I got a lot of love for T.S. Madison. She's been through a lot, for this month already, because she had to go through it with Kaya. Well, it was Kia, because she had Kia. During the Pride Month thing, in which Kia was like, oh, you stuffed my bag, and she was being like transphobic to T.S. Madison. So it's already been a horrible Pride Month for T.S. Madison. So I just wish her nothing but love. A lot of, like, I want to give her flowers. I hope that she's surrounded with nothing but love, because these moments truly test somebody. It tests a girl, and I just hope that she, with all that strength and that stuff that she has, like, I hope that she is getting all the love that she can get, because, baby, she deserves it. But Nene Leakes needs to apologize to the audience. She needs to apologize to T.S. Madison directly and publicly. And I just think she needs to cut the show. She don't need to do no talk show. The talk show, baby, it's not sticking. Reinvest the budget somewhere else. I know you spent a cute little penny on the set. Probably got somebody up for signs by Shalissa to make the cute little sign, the cute little sets by Shauna. You hit them up off the ATL Instagram to make a cute little set. Baby, sell the set. Well, we need to start from scratch. Don't do no talk show no more, because this was gross, this was offensive, and this also wasn't the first strike. because you just not a good interviewer. I saw how you was interviewing Tamar, and he was talking about like how like that interview was going. It just wasn't engaging until like y'all started talking about straight women on prep, and people were like gagging at that because I think everybody should be on prep. You know, like STDs and stuff like that are rising, both like especially with straight people. The men's is not getting tested. The straight men's is not getting tested like they should be. Get tested, please, so that you know your status. And don't think that the STDs and stuff like that is an inherently gay thing. Because baby, y'all, the straight men, the data is showing that the straight men it's rising, and they getting the women's caught up in women's be who you are for your pride. Like they, you know, word to Jessie Woo, you know, women's be who you are for your pride month. Like the girls, like the data showing that the men is getting the girls caught up because they're not getting tested because of the stigma, and they just not going out to get tested. So please get tested. Please go on prep, because prep is for everybody. You know, stay protected. Do what you need to do. Side tangent aside, woo. But Nene, cut the show, unplug the show. This was strike 3 for me because it's not gonna work. But that was my thoughts on Nene Leakes, the Nene Leakes show. Cancel it, please. You is not no Wendy Williams. You is not even Jennifer Hudson, dare I say. Like, this is worse. Cancel the show. That's my thoughts on the show. That's my thoughts on the TS Madison situation, everything like that. Let me know in the comments what y'all thought about the situation. Do you agree with me and how I feel about the situation? Do you think that Nene Leakes should apologize to us? Do you think she should apologize to TS Madison? Do you think that what she said was wrong? And I hope you say yes, because if you say no, I'm going to remove the comment if I see it pop up. And I don't even be reading comments like that. Let me know. Let's have a conversation, a normal adult conversation, please. But that has been the Cake Radio Show. I hope you guys are enjoying the show. Big things are coming. I keep saying that. I'm going to keep saying that in the next couple episodes because I am excited for what's coming up next. Got some new updates and stuff coming along to the show, and I just am excited for when that actually happens. You won't know it happens until you tune into the YouTube channel, baby. So y'all be sure y'all subscribe at Cake Radio Show on YouTube. And if you're listening to this on your favorite podcast platforms, thank you so much for supporting. You actually are going to get episodes on the podcast platforms first before anyone else. So be sure to subscribe there. Listen to it on the go. But if you prefer the visuals, if you prefer the additional content that you get that you're not going to get on the podcast platform, subscribe to the YouTube channel. But that's it from me. Love y'all so much. Thank y'all so much for listening to the Cake Radio Show. And I'm going to talk to y'all next time. Bye-bye. CakeDive out. Also, last little thing. I'm sorry if y'all hear my fan going or if y'all heard some like lawnmowers in the back. Baby, I'm recording this fresh in the morning and it's summertime. Like, the heat is heating. So y'all, apologies, late apologies, but it's better to apologies now than apologies later. You know what I mean? But I'll talk to y'all next time. Bye-bye.